Welcome everyone. Hopefully from the title of this video, you guys have a gist of what this video is mainly going to be about. Now, what I'll do is this is going to be um a $150 challenge to 2000 or not 2000, 1000. So $150 to $1,000, and I won't rush it just because this is my first time that I'm gonna publicly do a challenge. I'm not gonna rush it and say I'm gonna give myself from now until, June, whenever, or, the 1st of July. I'm not gonna give myself a specific time frame because I just don't know how it's really gonna go. And I just don't really think that it's right at this moment for me to do some type of challenge where there's a time frame. Because I'm not looking to rush the trades. I'm still looking to consistently, consistently work on my edge, consistently trade the same way that I would trade even if I wasn't giving myself a challenge. Consistently only enter the market when I see my setup. You know what I mean? So I don't want to rush anything. And last week I believe I didn't even take any trades, but I did re-up on my account, so now I should have about 150, maybe seven. Um, or I got 160, so 160 you probably can't see, but $160 in my live trading account, and I anticipate on turning it into $1,000. So what we're gonna do is I'll share my screen first and foremost. I'll do that first, and here it is. So this is still my Trading Zilla account. You can obviously see we're down negative 25, 61, 79. So win rate is 19%. Not bad, but could definitely do better on my profitability because obviously you can see that, negative, negative, negative days. I got a big, $60 day, then boom, the account goes down to like, I think 0. So what I did was I reinvested $160 into the same live trading account that I've been working. And I mean, my ultimate goal would be to turn $160 that I have in equity right now into $1,000 and then withdraw maybe 200 or $300 so that I can funnel that money into a prop firm account so that I can just keep on, hitting different and different goals. And I can also expand and get more comfortable in the trading space and expand my experience. So expand my experience into the trading space by making withdrawals, and which I'm not too familiar with. I've done it a couple times, maybe a handful of times of withdrawals over the past couple years, but they have not obviously been where I've wanted it to be, and it's obviously not got me out to be a profitable trader that I one day, aspire to be. So that's pretty much how everything is going right now, and that's also the updates that I want to give you guys. So far, if you guys are new and you guys haven't seen my journal, here it is. Since the year started, I don't believe that there's no trades from last year. I started this account this year, so you can see starting out from January, this is my journal, and that's January. This is February. And you guys are probably thinking, why don't I just trade how I was trading in February? The reason why I'm not gonna trade how I was trading in February is because I was taking way more trades than I actually that I'm comfortable at the moment that I'm in right now. One is too many trades that I'd rather take for the week. Two, you guys have to understand during January, February, and March, trading is all I was focused on. I wasn't even focused on insurance, on my insurance business. But so you can also see that now that I've been occupying myself, the months after April, after March, you can see that my trading has gone down significantly because my mind is not, it's not, it's being occupied by my insurance business ultimately. So that's one of the main reasons, but also I found an edge for myself, which I think, if I can refine my edge and be more commit to my edge, um, once I'm able to do this and show others that it is a profitable system, it is a profitable edge, as long as you don't over leverage, you don't, you know, over trade, then, you know, in the end you'll become a profitable trader. From there on, you can start scaling to how much ever, you want. The sky's the limit, of course, in the markets. That's April. This is May, and this past week, today's June 6th. I didn't trade at all this week. I did see this trade right here that I wanted to enter, but I was up around 5 a.m. So 5 a.m. price was right here. If you look at the risk to reward for that, it didn't make sense. It wouldn't have made sense for me to enter right here. So I fell asleep around 5. Price made its way back around 8 a.m. I should have paid attention, but I was sleeping around this time, and that's something that I also need to work on my sleeping schedule. So I need to make sure that I'm up around the kill zone times, right? New York session or, even London session. So sometimes Asian session, because I don't want to tell you, it's good to be up all hours because we all know that there's Asian session, London session, and most importantly, New York session. But it would be a great idea to also set limit orders, right? I think sell limit and buy limit orders are a great idea because if I had a buy a sell limit order somewhere along, somewhere in this area, I could have even looked left and looked to see where did price touch, multiple times. Where was at what point was price like, always tapped? And I would probably say around here. So even if I had, a limit around this price point and then I had my stop loss right above Asian session, Asian tie, this could have been a 1 to 3. But another thing is if I had, let's say I did a 2-minute market structure shift in this area, I could have said, okay, well, once this candle closes, stop above the high, and then maybe as soon as that close the candle closed right there. That would have been a 1 to 4. I don't recommend, the stop loss above the 2 minute. I personally, in my opinion, I would rather, the stop loss above the high and then sell limit order right here. So you get a decent 1 to 3 risk to reward. As you can see, price didn't even, hit this low and it's Friday. So there's a chance that, price could potentially, when Monday opens or Tuesday, the following day, price could do whatever here and then, push down, creating a new lower low. But we won't know until the time comes. So that is GBP AUD. Not really looking to trade that at any time soon. So I'll just drag it to the bottom. I low key want to just uncheck all of these right here just so that we can start from scratch. And I'll also remove any drawings that I have so that we're also starting from scratch. So let's start with removing drawings. I have not looked at these pairs in a little while. It's been a couple days. So let's see. This is the weekly. Let's look at the daily. So the daily is bullish. Now, with the daily being bullish, I would say, let's say this is a honestly, this is a decent range, and price is already about to hit the high. So I would not be interested in this. I'm gonna make this red, and this is NZDJPY. So I would recommend if you're looking at NZDJPY, you should probably look at the fact that we're in a daily downtrend, right? Because price looks like this on the daily time frame, right? It closed, my bad. I meant to do this. It closed below. Next thing you know, it rallied up. Now, price can, you know, price can do, price can create a 4 hour sell because this is obviously a respected zone. So we can see what happens here. This is clearly a good level on the daily time frame, right? This looks like a very respected area. So let's look at what happens on the 4 hour time frame, and then we'll go from there. So let's just keep that in mind. I'm gonna make this gold because this is a this is actually a very interesting trade setup that could possibly happen. And then especially if we were to, let's say, FX Factory. So let's say we were to put in FX Factory. I haven't looked at this yet, but there's a possibility that we would get some JPY. No JPY news for next week. But yeah. So we're not gonna get any JPY news for next week, it seems like, based on what I'm looking at here, which is fine. Moves still play out sometimes regardless. And I would want to see, something happen for this NZD trade. I'm gonna set an alert above this candle right here so that we can see if price does, drop lower than, do a market structure shift. And then potentially, let's say we can probably get an enter somewhere above here so that we can target a low. And again, I'm a I'm a swing trader, so being that I'm a swing trader at heart, as you know, my average time that I'm in a trade is 6 hours. 6 hours and 35 minutes. And now I'm at the point where my goal is not to trade as much as I used to trade before as a day trader. My goal now is to hop in trades, right? Obviously analyze it, make sure that it's a valid trade, make sure that the risk to reward makes sense, and then I decide whether it makes sense to, throw in a limit order or, just enter if the time is right and see, how the trade goes without pulling out of the position regardless and just accept the risk. So doesn't matter to me if the trade hits my stop loss or my take profit because I've already dealt with years of, conditioning my mind, callousing my mind, and that is, you know, rule of thumb when it comes to people who are successful traders is you need to be able to um stomach losses. You need to have a good metabolism for losses than everyone else because the person, right, the trader who handles losses better than you will most likely be, more successful than you at trading. If not, people like that are the most successful traders. Obviously, trading is not easy. There's people that have been doing it for decades and still have not been profitable. And if I was here sitting in front of your face trying to tell you that I'm trying to get rich quick overnight trading, it's like, is this not enough proof for you? Like I'm showing you my trading journal and it shows you that I'm negative and I'm telling you that I've been doing this for years and I'm still not profitable. So I don't understand why telling people that you're a trader, telling maybe even multimillionaires that you're a trader, gives them the perception that you're here trying to get rich quick. It just doesn't make sense for me. It's like we all know that this is like a sport where you have to, it's like a mind, like an emotional sport. You have to be able to conduct yourself appropriately, conduct your emotions appropriately in order to become a successful trader. So why in the world, how do traders, I mean, they must be talking about most traders, maybe most traders, right? But I don't see why people would think that someone like me, especially if you personally know me, I don't see why people would come to me saying that I'm over here trying to get rich quick. When have I ever showed that I was trying to get rich quick doing trading? I don't even show that for anything that I do. Like even in my insurance business, I don't even, try to, be non-compliant to, get rich quick. But nonetheless, um, let's see. Let's see what happens here. Like I said, this is NZDJPY. Not gonna marry the trade, but it is a good trading idea. So I'll keep that in mind. Here is a good. I want to say that this is a really good trading idea because not only is this is a weekly low, right? And not only is this a weekly low, but this is also a weekly high. And then so you have two time frames in sync because this is also a daily low, and then this is also a daily high. So keep that one in mind. So what I would do is stretch this out from low to high, and then I would mark this as an alert right here. So I'd set an alert right here, and then this is obviously an important key level area of interest. I would say one, two, three. So being that, this is also an important area, I would highlight that obviously. Most recent area, key of interest would be right here, just because it's the most recent place that the market movers have sold in order to buy for people to buy up and make these people profitable. So I expect price to at least come into this zone right here. But not only that, I mean, there's also, if we go down to like the 4 hour time frame, I mean, there's also equal lows right here. It did get swept. We'll see what happens. In order for price to, I mean, price honestly can sweep this low right here, right? Sweep this low right here. I'll do a, I'll do an alert right here just because the 4 hour is in fact bullish, and just because it closed down here doesn't mean that it's bearish. Price can very easily do a market structure shift on the 15-minute time frame here and then create a new higher high. So if that does not happen though, another trade idea would be that the 4 hour shifts to bearish and then right we get a pullback, and then price comes down to sweep these out. Then we get, 4-hour break of structure, and then somehow on lower time frames like a 30-minute or 15-minute, we can get an entry in order to take price to the upside. So that is my, that's my expectation. Now that does not have to happen, but I hope it happens, and that does happen. That'll be a decent risk to reward, you know. Next, so I did highlight that. Next is gonna be GBP CAD. So honestly, GBP CAD, it's honestly very late for me to enter if I wanted to. Let's look at the daily time frame. Daily time frame seems to be, overall, can't argue with this one. Overall, we're bullish. And I mean, with us being overall bullish, I would expect, honestly, I wouldn't even look at this one. This is not a good pair to look at for me. Next, this is way too choppy, so I'll just drag this below. Next, I wish I entered this one, but I didn't. Now, if we look at the 4-hour, the 4-hour market structure shift, break structure shift. Okay, so now if we were to do from here to here, and we're also above the 4-hour EMA, so there's actually a great what do you call it? This could be a great risk to reward, um, daily time frame. I mean, the most important key level that I see here would probably October 24. Honestly, I want to say definitely right here. I want to say right here. So let's see, 4-hour time frame. Let's get a market structure shift on 15-minute or yeah, 15-minute time frame or 30-minute time frame. Let's get a market structure shift on, in this zone so that we can take price further. I do want price to get, come down to this imbalance, inverse fair value gap, whatever you want to call it, so that we can take price further. But price doesn't have to do that, obviously. Price can just respect the key level and push up. So I'll make that gold. I think that's something to look out for. And that's the main reason why I put two alerts, because price can go to this area, price can go to this area, or price can just fall from where it's at, and create a, what do you call it, market structure shift on the 4-hour time frame. The daily again is bullish, so we could just look for bullish signals. And what do you call that? So next is Euro USD. So Euro USD is making, the daily looks like it's bullish overall. And then the 4-hour time frame, it appears to be, what are we? It really looks choppy. I really don't look like how this looks. It looks like there's too much to, handle right here. Like, just doesn't really seem worth. All right, let's see. I'm gonna use this. So if we look at the daily time frame, you can see daily did this and this, right? So this is the daily low. This is the daily high. Let's look at the 4-hour. So 4-hour goes here, right? And then here. and then here, and then here. And price does not close above here, which means that our entire range is from here to here. So with that being said, what we want to do is we want to set an alert because price can do one of two things. Price can drop and respect this area, respect it as a, creating a higher low and create a higher high, or price can take this out. What is this? What day is this? Friday, right? If this is a low on Friday, price can easily wipe this out, right? Come into this imbalance right here, come into this imbalance right here, and then we can take price up. So I'm gonna probably go with this one, especially because it has a better risk to reward. And not only that, it's in a way better, like if we look at the 1 hour time frame, I mean, 30 minute, I mean, it just looks like consolidation happened right there. So, I mean, I really wouldn't. Also, if we look at the daily areas of interest, you can see there's one, two, three daily areas of interest. So I would rather this instead of this. So yeah, I'm actually gonna delete this one just so that I'm not waiting forever for that to play out, especially because these are not really valid key areas of interest. Like yes, this, yes, but that's two even. Um, I mean, this honestly, I wouldn't even say is a key, area of interest. This is a valid area of interest, but this is not. This is, this is, this is, this is, and this right here. So that gives you a good understanding. It's also further, rather than being at the 50%, this gives you a better pullback. Typically about 80% of a pullback in this area, 75 to 80%. Gold. Next, just so that we understand the direction in case, I wake up sleepy at London session and prices at my location. I don't have to think much. Then you have AUD and ZD. So being that we have AUD and ZD, weekly is pretty bearish. Not only that, daily looks pretty bearish as well. So since since price is pretty bearish, let's look to see if there's any imbalance. 30-minute imbalance, not really. Maybe up here, but if price closes, I mean, if price closes above here, then we go bullish. Um, Look at the 8 hour. Yeah, price pro. mm. And the thing is, I mean, let's take a look. So 4 hour or daily, boom, right? Then it came back here, created another daily, right? Another daily bearish, but not only that, 4 hour also went bearish from up top. And if the daily structure is showing the ranges from here to here, right? And you want to trade the range. So if that's what you're seeing, and price never closed above here, you can clearly see that there's more sellers in the market. Now, if there's more sellers in the market and prices, lingering around here, price can do one of two things. Price can do something on the 15-minute time frame where it looks something like this, right? And then you catch it, but then on the 4 hour time frame, instead of it being like that, you see the wick, but the close would be below this high, so that we're being consistent with the market structure. That's just how the market moves most of the times. Um, so we can probably see that happen. So if we were to look at the daily time frame to see what kind of support we can get based on some key areas of interest, we can probably stay around. I honestly I would say around here. Excuse me. So I would definitely put an alert right here. And then I would honestly just make sure that we're all clear that if price were to, go above this, it can't be above it for too long because it is a 4 hour high, right? And that would mean if price does go above it, we'd have to just pay attention to the 4 hour time frame. So with that said, I would definitely say that we should, keep that like that and then target the range. The range is low, which is here. Now price could do whatever it wants. Price could even close above on the 4 hour time frame, which means that we might just shift the direction and go further up. Or we can just stay bearish on the daily time frame and respect what the market is showing. Because right now we're actually above the 4 hour time frame's EMA, which is not a good sign for the people that are looking to sell like myself. But we have to also keep in mind the daily time frame is bearish. We're under the daily EMA. And what's stronger than the 4 hour EMA? The daily EMA. Glad you guys are keeping up. So obviously GBP CHF pretty we're pretty bullish, right? Now, not only are we pretty bullish on the daily time frame, but 4 hour time frame, we're also pretty bearish. I mean bullish. I don't know if I said that we were daily bullish, but yes, we're bullish on the daily time frame for GBP CHF. Now, what's the range? Our range is here. This is our range. So since price didn't close above here yet, we can probably fall, grab some liquidity, take price up, right? And I mean, that's a good plan, which means that we can wipe this out. And what is this? Last Wednesday? I mean, yeah, Wednesday the 21st, right? So that was last week. So that means we have liquidity, right? That could be swept. Now for the 4 hour, what would that mean for the 4 hour? What that would mean for the 4 hour is that we have a possible chance of going bearish and then back to bullish. But I would I would probably get that verified by, I mean, possibly looking at the 4 hour time frame for one, making sure we understand what the 4 hour low and high is. So now that we found the 4 hour low and high, which is here and here, we can say, hey, price came back down. It shifted on 1 hour, 2 hour, right? Clearly shifted on 1 hour, 2 hour, went bullish. So it did go bullish. Let's look at the 2 hour time frame. And okay, so now I would honestly say that, I mean, I don't think that price would come back to this range since we've already done a 2 hour, whole 2 hour shift, right? We did a whole 2 hour shift. We even did a whole 4 hour shift. So there's probably no chance of us going to take this out. This seems like strong structure. We're also above the 4 hour EMA. Um, this is some good price action. It's not bad, but it could be better. And pretty choppy. If I wanted to get into this trade, I would have gone into the trade in this area around here. And if I were to take this trade, it would have probably been right around right around this candle close, but that'll lead to probably a 1 to 2, honestly, which means that I would have had to do a buy limit, right? That would have been a buy limit. So 1 to 3. So my buy limit, what would I do for a buy limit? I would look on the daily time frame, look left to see where we're probably gonna head. I mean, where do all the wicks, where are the most recent? I mean, we could probably look at the 8 hour time frame, make this a little bit more. I don't see. I mean, here is obviously structure, but 4 hour, probably say this area on the 4 hour time frame is respected. So that could be a right a buy limit, which could lead to a 1 to 2, and then you would target the high. So that's an idea. But it's pretty much already happened already, so there's not really much you can do now. I would probably just throw this one out. It would have been a good idea, but it's not it's no longer crystal clear. It's already been played out. Next, we've got CAD JPY, so CAD JPY. I'm gonna again erase my drawings, start from scratch, so that you guys get a better idea of how I trade. Now, the weekly would be terrible to look at, right? You can just see how choppy this is, and we're actually bearish on the weekly overall, but let's look at the daily time frame. So the daily time frame, it appears that our range could typically, it's almost like we're already almost here, so I wouldn't really disturb what it's doing to head to that direction, because if we were gonna get into this, we should have gone into this trade somewhere up here and into or somewhere down here to take price to this area of interest. My leg is falling asleep. Um, Next, again, this is USD JPY. If we wanted to make a move on USD JPY, we should have done something around this area here to take price here. Doesn't mean that, it's too late, but I mean, you can set an order limit for price to accept you into the direction around this area if it drops, and then you take price here, but likelihood of that happening, who knows? I'm probably not gonna look for this, and the market honestly doesn't really look like the price action really doesn't look good. The imbalances, excuse me, don't get me wrong, there's one here, but I would really, if I'm looking for to get in, I'd want to get in somewhere like around here. So I won't disregard it completely. I'll just add an alert right here, and I mean, what do you call it? The risk to reward ratio would typically be like probably a 1 to 3. Yeah, like I said, 1 to 3. So next we've got, I'll keep it in the red just because it's not really priority. The daily time frame. Oh my gosh. Who knew? Who would have known, right? Who would have known that price would fall down, right? So let's be honest. Um, Price is overall bullish, right? Price is actually overall bullish. Now the 4 hour, and this is actually going to be a really good trade. So I hope we don't miss this. Now on gold, right? On gold, what do you guys think is low? What do you guys think is the high? Low, high. So this is a really good range. And you probably don't even need to hold it for here. You can actually probably hold it until price gets here. Um, why? Because we're bullish. We're bullish on the daily time frame. Also, why? Well, we hit an imbalance. What happens on weekly imbalances? Typically, we go in the opposite direction to create a newer high or a newer low, right? What happened here? Imbalance. What did we do? Fill in the gap. What happened? Created a new high. Now, what happened here? Well, well, well. Well, 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 well. Came in there. Imbalance. What did we do? Created a new high. What happened here? Well, we filled it in twice. We came in here twice. Honestly, there's a decent amount of weeks, right? Price has a reason to go to these spots. The reason is because price has to balance out between buyers and sellers. And normally, a good amount of times, probably more than 50% of the times, price fills in, right? Gives you 50% equilibrium. If there's short buyers, market movers will push price into that area of interest where there's a lot of buyers or there's too many buyers, so you need sellers is what I meant. And when sellers fill in that gap, typically 50% of the gap, then you'll notice that, well, that didn't happen. It didn't reach 50%. So that's why I said typically 50%. If we were to look at, if we were to compare other ones like here to here, literally on the nose, right? Literally on the nose. Here, this one kind of looks off, but price still filled that in. What did price do here? 50% of that weekly gap. Fill that in. What did price do here? Fill that in. About 50% of that gap. More, right? More. This one, 100%. So now what do we expect for price to probably take out this weekly low? Right? Price takes out this weekly low, maybe even this weekly low right here as well. Because there is no weekly low. Literally opened up and created a high. That's like asking for a liquidity sweep. But I mean, that's my expectation, but who knows what could happen. So again, what are we doing? Let's just go back to what we were before I started ranting. All right. And we're also above the daily EMA. So one, you can target this high. Two, you can target this high. So there's a possibility that if I enter this trade, I may have two positions, one for this high and one for this high. If I do risk, right? If I do take risk on this trade, what do I say? I'm going to risk 5%. So if I'm risking 5% on my trades, this is considered a trade. This is a trade idea. Ultimately, if I want price to come here, I'm going to risk 2.5% for here and my other 2.5%. So two positions, one position I target here, the other position I target here, this high. What I can do is 5% risk to target here, and then 2% to target here, two positions. But that would mean that I'm risking 7.5%, which is more than I want to risk. And I don't want to build a habit of over, right, over risking. So what I would say is I would probably go with the 2.5, right? 2.5 for two different positions. Because again, we're bullish on the daily time frame, we're bullish on the weekly time frame. We can easily, especially since we've already came into this imbalance on the weekly, we can easily push up without questions. Without questions. 4 hour time frame. What do we see? We see a bunch of 4 hour areas of interest right here, literally right here. So what does that tell me? That tells me that we're most likely gonna head into this area. What are we? Are the directional bias on the 4 hour time frame is also bullish? This is the 4 hour low. This is the 4 hour high. In order for us to consider coming into this area of interest right here, we're gonna have to shift from 4 hour, what do you call it? Bearish, or full out 4 hour bullish, to being 4 hour bearish. So let's see what happens. We can't force trades, so let's see what happens. I'm gonna do three alerts just because this is a an important. Uh, Honestly, it's actually four alerts, so I know if price actually closes below this low. So this is a very, very, very. What is this? Wednesday created a low, which is ideal. If it was Monday, I would have been sketched out. But Monday, I would have said that this is not sustainable. But Monday is right. The low and the high of Monday got taken out. You can see even Sunday, previous Sunday got taken out. So I'm gonna highlight that. This might even be the trade of the week. So let's look out for that. Um, Remove drawings, daily time frame. We can definitely see that this is our range. Our range is here and our range is here. So being that that's our range, what do we do? Low to high, low to high. And if you guys want to follow along with whether I'm taking these trades or not throughout the week, just join my Discord, guys. It doesn't get simpler than that. Join my free Discord, right? Join my Discord. It's for free. You don't have to pay. And tell a friend to tell a friend. But yeah, I post whether I'm entering or not in my Discord. Link in link in bio. Next, you can see that um area of interest is obviously right here. No brainer. No brainer. Like no brainer. Which means I'm moving it from the 50% literally to the area of interest. It doesn't get more simpler than that. Next, and that's obviously going to be a gold. What do you call it? This might be the easiest trade for the week, but honestly, a lot of times, Nasdaq doesn't really give the risk rewards that I like because it moves so fast. However, I just might use limit orders and whatnot. Also, there's a possibility that price could take this low out, which means it could, in fact, give us a way better risk to reward. So let's keep this one in mind as well. The fact that we did, NASDAQ did a 30-minute market structure shift. Well, it went from bullish to bearish, right back to being bullish. So I'm kind of disgusted by this move, but I'll just mind my business and wait until price gets to my area of interest. This one I'm really not a fan of. It definitely looks choppy and it definitely looks bearish. So being that it looks bearish, I would honestly look at the 4 hour time frame to see what we did here. Now, realistically, if you look at uh the daily, let's say you wanted to look at this in a macro scope, right? A macro level, you're gonna see this is what price looks like. So it's bearish. This is the daily range on a macro level. If you look at it on a micro level, being that we shift from bullish or daily to 4 hour, you can see that price came here, 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 here. Perfect. Perfect. Now, what does that mean? I'm sure you guys know that that means we go to the daily time frame. Now, what do we also do? We also look left. Now, what do we look left for? We look left for areas of interest. What do we see? I mean, we see some. I mean, the daily honestly doesn't really look that good. I'm gonna actually take this out because it's kind of distracting. And then I'm also gonna look at the imbalance. 'Cause that's also something you want to keep in mind. Not only look at the imbalance, you also look left for our key areas of interest, which since the daily was kind of hard to look at, let's look at the 4 hour area of interest. Um, I would say good 4 hour areas of interest. I would honestly take a trade if price reached this level. And if price reached that level, we look for a we look for a reason to sell. Time frames like the 2 hour, the 30 minute, 1 hour, 15 minute. That'll give us some reasons to sell from here and target the low, right? Gold, gold. Excuse me. Now, macro. Macro, we've got high, we've got low. 4 hour, we've got, honestly, it doesn't look good. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. This doesn't look good at all. Why doesn't it look good? Well, I'll show you guys. If we push up here, actually, make it wider. So we go here, then we go here, man, in the way. Um, we close above here. I think we took this high out. What is this? Um, 38278, 301. Okay, perfect. So that took that out. And then we got structure, close, which could mean that I'm not interested because we'd have to do a whole 4 hour shift and then shift back. Ah, man, that was kind of a lot of to think, but definitely don't think this is gonna be worth it. Sit out. This one's interesting. So NZD USD. So clearly you can see the daily range is from here to here. Clearly. Now that you see the daily range. what happens? You can see that the 4 hour time frame, honestly, if this is the 4 hour time frame, I'm actually gonna. What's the high? 60548. What's the close? 60398. Obviously, this is like a no-brainer. So we're just gonna wait for price to come into this area of interest. That's simple. It's literally like textbook. So we look left. Uh, the 4 hour time frame. So there's imbalance here. I mean, 4 hour, I definitely see. I mean, honestly, if we get price to come right around here or right around here, because this is also a really good spot where the 4 hour has came. Um, let's like look for some reason to buy around this area because I really don't expect price to come any lower than here because this is a 4 hour low. So that's pretty much my markup for the week. Um, what did I say? 4 hour, 4 hour high. Yeah, so that's really what I expect to happen. So see if it happens, see if it doesn't happen. Not gonna force any trades. I missed out on trades this week, but it's it's cool, you know. It was a tough week for me this week. Had a lot going on, but we're back on the charts. Again, my Instagram is charts and checks. So this is a challenge for myself, a public challenge. We're scaling this account 160 to 1,000. Just to make things easier, the title is gonna be 150 to 1,000. It just sounds better. Excuse me. 150 to $1,000. Sounds better. Or, yeah, you know what? I'll just make it 160. Honestly, 160 is fine. Doesn't matter to me. I want to be as transparent as possible. So 160, let's see if you guys can see it. Hopefully you guys can. 160.57. Yeah, and live. Blue is live. Okay. Trade Locker is the platform. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Before I go, I'll hit you guys with a quote of the day. I know you guys have been waiting for it. So, um, let's take a look at what we've got. So, okay. Quote of the day is the power you have to create more fulfilling outcomes from your trading resides in your degree of mental flexibility. You have to learn how to flow with the markets. You are either in harmony with them or you are not. So that's by Mark Douglas, and that's the disciplined trader. Um, Pretty straightforward. Let me know what you guys think about that quote. What that really means is you're either in flow state, you're either uh you pick a side, right? Because you can only buy or sell in what we're doing here. And if you choose to buy and you're wrong, you're not in the flow of the market, right? If you're wrong. But if you choose to sell and the market's selling, then you're in the flow of the market and you know, um, you're in the flow of the market. So you're in harmony with the market. Couldn't have made it any more simpler than that. But I'll hit you guys with another quote and then I'm out of here, guys. Uh, The market does not create the ways in which you perceive it. It merely reflects what is going on inside of you and in any given moment. Whether you perceived the current market conditions as an opportunity and did not act on your perception, or didn't realize it was an opportunity until after the move occurred, is again a direct reflection of your unique psychological makeup. Same book, same author, pretty straightforward on that quote as well. I think uh let me know what you guys think. I want to hear you guys comment. I'm gonna leave this quote for you guys to let me know what you guys think. I'll look out for your comment below and I'll respond. I'm always looking out to respond to you guys. I see you guys. Thank you guys for being a part of the journey. Thank you guys for the support. I also, if you guys have any questions, just join my Discord, ask questions. I'm open to doing Zoom calls with people. Like, join the Discord. If if I get if we can get 20 people in the Discord, then let's set up I'll do a poll so that we can schedule a certain day where we all just hop on a Zoom call and free for all, thoughts, maybe do a Sunday markup together, Sunday or Saturday markup together. Poll would be easiest for us to narrow down, what day works best for most of the people in the chat. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thank you for following the journey. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend and wish me luck on this journey. $160 to 1,000. Thanks for watching.